Bienvenidos a la Argentina en la etapa de Uyuni-Salta. ¡Bienvenidos a Dakar!
Welcome to Dakar 2017. The competitors head back to the dunes for part 2 of the marathon stage from Uyuni to Salta, with a few hiccups along the way. It's time to say bye-bye Bolivia as the Dakar returns to Argentina. Yesterday, the riders and drivers of the Dakar were given a hero's welcome in Uyuni, here in southwest Bolivia, after completing the first half of the marathon stage from the capital, La Paz. Being greeted by the crowds, it was on to the Uyuni bivouac, and for most of the competitors it was set to be a rather busier evening than usual. A marathon stage means no team assistance, and so the riders settled down to work on their vehicles and on their roadmaps for the next day's stage.
Un sector selectivo A de 171 con una neutralización de 176 que será entregada a partir de las 9 horas en el servicio de competidores.
After the evening briefing, time to hit the hay before another busy day on the Dakar. It has been a punishing week at high altitude on the Dakar. Many competitors went up to the dizzying heights of the Bolivian plateau, but not all of them will come back down.
No oxygen. Big problem.
Previously in the bikes, Sam Sunderland extended his lead to almost 18 minutes as KTM looked to continue their Dakar dominance.
It's going well so far, and we still have many days to come, so we need to try and stay focused and keep calm and be safe, you know.
Honda's chances were hit by a 1-hour penalty, but Ricky Brabeck's win yesterday showed that they will fight on till the death.
We can't get the time back, but we're going to do our best, and we're going to keep pushing to the end.
Yesterday, after the first part of the marathon stage, the bike riders made it to the bivouac in Uyuni. They had the opportunity to work on their machines before heading on to Salta in today's 8th stage. And hero rider CS Santos knows that the marathon stage can be a real game changer.
The marathon stage is always is an important stage, and it always changes the whole rally. So we had to be careful out today, and I'm glad that we brought the motorcycle here in one piece, and I'm healthy. So looking forward to tomorrow's stage and going back to meeting our service.
With no assistance permitted, some riders worked long into the night to get everything ready for the morning. So the route has once again been modified due to heavy rainfall. The first special will finish at checkpoint 1, which marks the end of the day's racing for the trucks. The bikes, quads and cars will go on to tackle the second special, which is unchanged. Some of the most incredible scenery of Dakar 2017 awaits in today's 8th stage. Joan Barreda setting off not long after his Honda teammates Ricky Brabec and Paulo Gonçalves into the mist. And it was set to be another good day for the Spaniard. Even if he got stuck in the mud at one point, he had the quickest time at the first checkpoint. Sam Sunderland heading into the stage just a few minutes before Barreda. The British rider led the rally by 17 minutes 45 seconds at the start of the day, and he stressed on several occasions how important it will be to keep his focus on these long and tricky stages. KTM man 4 minutes down on Barreda at the first checkpoint. Joan Pedrero also made a strong start, the Stage 1 winner putting in a strong shift on his Sherco, and he was second only to Barreda at the first checkpoint. Laia Sanz is a 6-time winner of the women's category, and surprisingly the Catalan rider leads the classification again this year on her KTM. She was 15th fastest in the first section. As for Portuguese rider Joaquim Rodrigues, he's having a superb maiden Dakar. He's the other man riding a Hero Speed Brain along with CS Santos, and he currently leads the rookie standings. The 2017 Dakar has been a family affair for the Nasiglias of Bolivia. Brothers Walter and Daniel are making their debut in the bikes. Father Walter Sr. won a stage in the quads before retiring with mechanical issues. Walter Jr. with an impressive performance on this final stage in his home country. Well, the riders may have left Bolivia today, but it wasn't quite time to come back down to earth. Michael Metz joined by his French compatriot Xavier de Sultre for the highest section of today's stage and the highest competitive passage of the whole Dakar. De Sultre was hit by a 6-minute penalty yesterday for arriving late to the special, but he's still 6th overall. They reached an eye-watering 4,394 metres above sea level. There was an excellent ride from Austrian Matthias Wagner to boost his overall hopes. He came in at second on his KTM, but there was simply no beating Barreda, and the Spaniard becomes the first rider to win at 2 stages at this year's rally. Another very impressive effort from Sunderland, meanwhile, to hold on to the overall lead. Yes, I had very good pace on tracks with a bit less navigation, where it's hard to make a difference, but I enjoyed myself. I attacked and it went well. Tomorrow, though, it means that I will have to lead the way for the Queen stage of the Dakar. So confirmation of the stage standings. Barreda ahead of Walkner in second place, just 3 seconds separating the two KTM men, Walkner and Sunderland. Mech and Pedrero completing the top 5, and the gap now 20 minutes and 58 seconds between Sunderland and Quintanilla. Yesterday in the quads it was the end of the line for Gustavo Gallego. It's an electrical issue, the circuit is cut and I can't find the problem. In spite of his best efforts, the Argentine wouldn't get going again on this marathon stage. His Dakar coming to an end just before the return to home soil. On to today's stage, and disaster was set to strike for Simon Witz. The Frenchman, running second overall in his maiden Dakar, was also forced to retire because of mechanical issues with his Raptor 700. Well, the overall leader, Sergei Karyakin, coming along nicely, taking in some absolutely breathtaking scenery as well. The Russian finished 4th last year, but as the 3 men who were ahead of him decided not to participate this time around, he came in as the favourite. And he's certainly living up to the billing so far. He looks set for a good finish on stage 8. Frenchman Axel Detry trailed Karyakin by just over 5 minutes at the start of the day, and he was second fastest at the first checkpoint. But it was 2014 winner Ignacio Casale who made the strongest start. The Chilean had the quickest time in the first special as he looks to close the gap on Karyakin and Detry, and it looks increasingly as though those three will be battling it out for glory in the quads. A challenge for those who go, a dream for those who stay. The words of Dakar founder Thierry Sabine still ring very true. For most Dakar competitors, like France Roxelane, the Dakar is a childhood dream.
I'm 37 and I've been watching the Dakar on TV for the last 32 years. There's a moment in life when you have to stop dreaming, you have to live your dream. It's a real struggle to get to the Dakar. You have to find financial partners, and on a sporting level, you have to compete in the races that will qualify you for the Dakar. I remember perfectly when I registered for the Dakar. I was alone in my living room at 11 p.m. in front of my computer, and then you have to click register. It's a very special moment. When I clicked, I couldn't back off. I had to go for it.
And once on site, the dream becomes a challenge. Heat, altitude, mud, dust, speed, all of the ingredients for an everyday nightmare.
The real difficulty is that you have to ride between 10 and 15 hours every day. You really have to be ready physically.
The risk factor is another element. When on their bike, the riders know that danger is ever present.
On a Dakar, you have to think about it. I have a family, I have 2 children. You have to do things correctly and you have to talk about danger. I have no problem with that. We know it's dangerous. When you ride at those speeds and so many kilometers with fatigue, it's risky. But it's better to be conscious of that and talk about it.
It's not just the danger, but also coping with endless nights and working on the bike, especially during the marathon stage.
Anyone who comes on the Dakar thinking it's going to be great, that you're going to go through Latin America and only have pleasure, enjoy every moment on the bike, well, they shouldn't come on the Dakar.
But never forget the dream of riding through the most spectacular places in the world.
We had stages in canyons that were amazing, so there's a real sense of pleasure in outstanding landscapes. If you don't live those moments at the fullest, it's pointless to carry on.
France's challenge goes on, and it will become a dream on the finish podium in Buenos Aires.
Welcome to one of the wonders of Argentina, the Quebrada de Humahuaca. With its colourful mountains and picturesque villages, a place of beauty but also history.
My name is Gabino Mendez and I was born and grew up here. I'm from Ocumaso, which is a rural village 20 kilometers away from Humahuaca. It's an emblematic village because many people come here as a base camp to visit the valley of Humahuaca. The Quebrada de Humahuaca really starts here in the south. The mountains here represent us on a worldwide level. That is because of the many beautiful colours that you can see here. There are some wonderful places to take photos, especially when the sun sets at around 5 in the afternoon. All of the colours come out at that moment. The Spanish conquistadors came through this valley. It was a road that was called the Royal Road, running from Buenos Aires to the highest parts of Peru. When the Spanish left, a civil war broke out here. We were fighting against each other. The Monument of Independence, the Monument of the Indian, even though the monument serves to celebrate 100 years of the independence of Argentina. On the right-hand side there is a building made of adobe or clay brick, which looks a bit like an oven. This was a watchtower used by Belgrano and San Martin to see where the Spanish troops were attacking. My ancestors told me that they would have been considered as Saracens.
2 centuries later, peace reigns over the Quebrada de Humahuaca. Previously, cars. After the rest day, stage 7 was a rude awakening for some. While the battle is intensifying between the 2 leading Peugeots. We are fighting with equal arms on a rally raid. We know he is quick, so it all depends on the terrain. Stefan went a bit quicker than us, but it's not a big gap. All's going well. Mixed fortunes for all other challengers.
Overnight.